All right. We are now live on Facebook, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I am going to record this so that we have it for future use and for those who are unable to join us tonight. So I want to welcome everyone to our coaching meet and greet. I'm going to go over just a few things so that you know what's going to happen tonight. And if for any reason you have to leave or you're interrupted, we know we all have, most of us might have some kids. It happens. This is going to be recorded. It is also broadcasted live within our meet and greet group. So if you are interrupted or if you want to come back and revisit some of the information that we're going to share with you tonight, you are welcome to do so. We will keep the group up for a couple days so that you are able, maybe through the weekend, that will give everyone some time to digest the information that we're going to share with you tonight. So you'll be able to come back and take a look at it at your leisure. So just want to welcome everyone here tonight for our coaching happy hour, or what we call our meet and greet now, so that you guys can get an idea of who we are and what we represent as coaches, what it is we do in the day of a life of a coach, and also to see the different personalities that we have within our team and as individual coaches here on Team Xceler8. We are super excited to share with you guys tonight. And we know the commitment that you took to take the time out of your evening. Some of you who might be on the West Coast, if you're not on the East Coast with me, that this is even during probably dinner time. So we appreciate the time you took. We know this is probably a little scary and a little bit intimidating, but it is also going to be very rewarding and very informational for you, especially if you've been pondering the idea of becoming a coach and understanding exactly what that means. And that is exactly what we are going to go through tonight. If at any time you have a question, please feel free to post it within the group page. You can either post it right below this as a comment in the live video feed, or within the group as a brand new post. Just tag the coach that invited you here tonight so that we see it and we can respond to you. And then while one of us or most of us aren't speaking, we're going to monitor the group and answer the questions throughout the evening so that you can leave here with some reassurance on exactly what it is that we do and a little more confidence in your decision in joining our team and becoming a coach going forward. So with that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Leslie Davis. I have been coaching for 4 years, actually 4 years in March. And I have been doing this full-time, or I should say full-time. I left my corporate career to pursue building my coaching business a little under 3 years ago. So just about 14, 15 months after I started coaching, I decided this was my passion, this is what I love, and this is what I wanted to continue to do and build going forward in my husband and my future. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, like I said, my name's Leslie. I am now 36 years old. So I started this when I was 32, and I had a full-time corporate career working in the financial industry as a director of a project management office. So I had a very successful corporate career with 2 degrees in information technology. So this was not in my grand plan of things to do after having 2 kids and becoming married and pursuing degrees in technology. But after I got married and had kids, I would say about 5 years ago, so a year before I became a coach, I decided I wanted to start running. So I was at a point in my life where, you know, once you have kids, you kind of become a little bit robotic, especially when they're younger. You sort of, you know, get up, you go through your routine each day, you go to work, you come home, and you repeat. And it was very, very assembly line driven, and it was driving me nuts. I lost a lot of me in that process, and I decided that I wanted to do something that I've always wanted to do, which was run. So I started running, and then from there, we got into utilizing Beachbody programs to do cross training. My husband actually approached me about becoming a coach. He's actually my coach. And then from there, I was extremely intimidated about the idea of adding something else to my ever-growing stack of plates. I just felt like I did not have time. My biggest fear was time. With a corporate career, with 2 young girls, with being married and having a home to take care of, you know how it is. It's just you think about this and you're like, how in the world could I ever do something else? Well, us busy people like to stay busy, and we figure it out. So we're going to share some in the group already regarding time and how you balance that out and how you build a business when you have so many things that you're juggling. Believe me, that was my biggest fear when I joined. But what I found out once I joined is how much freedom I actually had with my time. And when I really got down to prioritizing what was important to me and what was important in our lives as a family, I found and made the time to grow this business. And because I did, because I sacrificed a few things that were luxuries, like 3 or 4 hours of TV time in the evening, or, missing my lunch break to do things while I was at work, or taking some extra time in the morning to get my workout in. Some of those sacrifices that some people don't really think about when they're introducing something new into their life. But once they do and they find they're passionate about it, you'll find and make the time for it if it's truly something you want to do. So with that, I realized, okay, I can do this. I want to do this. I want to do this to change our future, to change our family dynamic, and to really pursue my passion, which was to help other people live healthy and fulfilling lives. And now helping women build businesses and things that around things they truly enjoy and love. So, for the last 4 years, this is what I've been doing, and I absolutely love it. I love the women that you see on our panel tonight in this video. They all have such unique and beautiful personalities that they're going to share with you tonight, and a little bit of their stories, and you're really going to get a good feel for the personalities and the diversity that coaches really bring to our community and to the world, really, when it comes to helping others. It's not that you have to be this one ideal perfect person. We all are very unique, and we all bring something special to those that we support. So with that, I just want to welcome you again to our group. I'm going to hand this off to our next presenter and coach, Allison, who is up in Canada. If you didn't know, we have coaches and members in both the United States and Canada. And later this year, we're going to announce another country that we're going to be introducing the Beachbody family and products in. But as of right now, we're in the US and Canada. And we actually have a couple Canadian coaches on our team that are representing us here tonight. And the first one who's going to chat with you guys is Allison. So Allison, I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Thank you, Leslie.
Oh, I think I mute you. Hold on. There you go. Sorry, I muted by accident when I was trying to mute myself.
Oh, thank you. That's okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Allison, and like Leslie said, I am from Canada. I am from a small province on the East Coast by the ocean, so I'm loving it down here in the Maritimes. But a little bit about myself. When I started coaching, it's been about 3 years now since I've been a coach, but I simply started being a coach because I love the products and I loved the exercises, and I joined a challenge group with Leslie, and I really liked the community, and the people and women were so supportive. So I joined challenge groups at first, and I decided to be a discount coach. I should have said a little bit about myself before I got into the coaching, I guess, shouldn't I? Well, let me back the boat up, I guess. I started doing some exercise after my first daughter was born. That was 10 years ago now. And I think the first exercise I ever did was Turbo Jam, and it was a burnt DVD. I didn't even know it was from Beachbody, but I absolutely loved Xceler8 and her exercises. And that's kind of what got me into looking more into these videos. And I remember thinking back then, like, how cool would it be to be one of those people in the videos, like doing these exercises and getting paid to do that? Like, that would be awesome to do that. And I think about that now when I like when I look back and I think to myself, like, you know, that's still, you can still do that. Like you can still, like, it's kind of like I exercise, I post it and people see, and that's pretty much what it is, you know, like, oh, what did I want to say? I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit jittery here. What was that about? Leslie said something that triggered something, me wanting to say something about, shoot, I forget now. Anyway, let me think about it for a second. Wow, I'm drawing a complete blank, Leslie. Maybe I could talk a little bit about how coaching has, that's what it was, how coaching has changed, how since I've been coaching and actually getting into more of like the business side of it and working on the personal development side of it, I have found that it has brought me out of my shell a lot. By working on myself and holding myself accountable to others and to myself, I didn't realize how much there was to like like I'm so nervous now. Oh,
Don't be nervous.
I was like ready and excited, and now all of a sudden I feel like I'm drawing a blank.
I can certainly say something that I've noticed since you become a coach.
Help me out, please. Help me.
When we first met, I could tell that Allison was very much an introvert, very, very, I don't know if scared, but reserved in her approach to coaching. I remember the first time that she came to me and said, I really want to know more about the people on our team. I want to be part of what we do in our community. And I challenged her. I said, post something on our page to see how you can connect with other people. And that just brought out a whole new side of you, which I feel has been a big change in you personally. And I love that I've seen not only have you come to the table with your own ideas, doing something like this, which is completely out of your comfort zone and your realm.
Yep.
Teaming up with somebody like Rachel as your success partner so that you guys can bounce ideas around and help each other and encourage each other. I mean, from that day to what I see now is such a huge internal transformation in you that I know as your coach, I'm completely proud of and absolutely love seen with you and with Rachel as well, which I'm sure Rachel will talk a little bit about when she speaks as well. So I don't know if that's how you feel, but that's how I see and what I've seen in you and the growth I've seen in you since you've started.
It is. I'm glad that you brought that up because I feel like that was a turning point when I put myself out there on the team page, just reaching out and kind of like expressing how I've been feeling, because I think that I was the one blocking myself from moving forward because I felt like nervous and scared. And I think that's just what happened here tonight. Like I started thinking too much, and then all of a sudden I blocked myself. And when I let go and just put it out there, it seemed to have completely turned around. And I've made some really great friends on the team, and it's been opened my eyes to a whole different world, like a whole different community. Like I was feeling like I was doing my exercises and doing this healthy thing by myself. I felt alone. I felt like even like, well, I don't mean my real friends, but I mean like people that I've grown up with and that I live by, where I was feeling by myself because they weren't into it. And then when I opened up on the team page and told everybody like how I was feeling, I felt like I all of a sudden opened the door to a whole group of new friends. And it's been really great since then. And I talk to people from the team and from the coaching community more than I talk to people that are just on the road. So it's been really great, actually. And I'm glad that you did bring that up, because I do feel like my personality has come out a lot more since being a coach.
Good. Yay. See, wasn't that bad. Thank you so much.
No, it wasn't. I just needed a little push from you. Go figure, huh?
There you go. All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Allison. Now we're going to hand it over to Miss Nicole.
Okay. Can you hear me? Good. Hi, everybody. My name's Nicole Olson, and I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so I am married, and we have 2 dogs and a cat. So what I first started coaching about January 2016. So Leslie's my coach, and I was a part of her challenge group doing 21-day Fix Extreme. And I remember her asking me about, I think you'd be really good at being a coach. And I was like, I don't know about that. And you know what? She invited me to one of these meet and greets. I'm sure it wasn't called that before, but I said, oh, sure. I'll go to that, and I'll just, listen to see what they say, and it doesn't hurt. Right. And man, when I went and listened to the women in that group and how they talked about, being a coach and helping others and their journey, and, just how much they changed. It was such a positive feeling I got from just listening and seeing that they were just normal women, amazing women, but, normal women with kids, husbands, regular jobs, whatever. And I know at the time I was not very happy with where I was at. I was hitting a plateau with my running. My weight was just going up and down. My attitude was just crap, and so I saw this and just saw the community and the women and just how wonderful and positive they were. And I just didn't think twice. And I just saw it as an opportunity to be, to make myself better, to be around others that, are just so positive. And I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to see if I could be, that, get better, feel better, be happier, because where I was at the time, I was not. So, and what I know Allison started to talk about was a lot of this, the coaching, you think it's, doing the programs and things like that, which it is, the vital behaviors, but really what changed is just what changed inside of me, my body changed and I got healthier, but my, self-confidence, my attitude, I'm really amazed of how much work was done on me. And I really enjoyed doing it, but it just radiates out, and you just want to share that, that really surprised me, because I thought it was just, sell the programs, get people to join your groups, all that. But really, I was really surprised and really challenged, myself, and still challenging. There's still things I'm working through, but it's really amazing what you can go through for yourself, and it just comes out and it just changes you. It really does. I don't know how else to say it. It changes you for the better. At least that's what I've experienced. And I know some people have asked about, how do you do it? How do you do this? It'll come, you'll learn those skills, if you focus on what you need and to make yourself happy and fulfill yourself, it'll come. Don't worry. So, but I just wanted to share that. So I know that was quick and short, but
no, that's perfect. I appreciate you sharing. And you're right. I know, like, that intimidation, that like feeling when you first start, or even when you're deciding to sign, I'm going to become a coach. Like, what does that really mean? And then all of a sudden you're like, what do I have to learn? How do I do it? What do I figure out? And many of, I think all of you guys, ladies on this call tonight, started somewhere, right? And we've built it over time. And I still learn things to this day, 4 years later, that I didn't know in the beginning. And that's the beauty of this business, is that you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself, to reinvent your business, to learn new ways and new things to bring to your community and to those people who follow you. The things I do today weren't the things I did 4 years ago. Some things I have, some things I don't from the first time. And it just, you learn it as you need to learn it. And it's not like this thing where this big scary thing where you have to learn everything right away before you ever help that one person. In fact, we all encourage each other to help people, and you're going to learn it with them together. And that's the beauty of doing what we do. And what I love so much about this business and what you see today is that you have a whole community behind you to help you figure it out. Like, it's not like you're by yourself trying to navigate those waters all by yourself. You have a entire team on this boat with you, cheering you on, helping you, collaborating, doing things like this where we get to share our experiences together and collectively, which really lifts that weight off your shoulders initially when you're so intimidated as soon as you sign up. So I totally agree with you on that as well. So thank you for sharing, Nicole. All right, Amy Dell, we're going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? I am looking on my computer, which is right here in front of me, and we can see as you're making questions and comments. And so as I'm introducing myself, if you have any questions so far, or if one of our awesome ladies has said something that's like that, oh, I have a question about that, or if we haven't answered a question, we would love for you to go into the comments right now and ask some questions. And then after I introduce myself, I will go back and see what questions you have. So hello. I'm Amy Dell Shoemaker. I am 42 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon, over here on the West Coast. We're kind of quirky and weird over here in Portland, Oregon, a little crunchy and fabulous Pacific Northwesterners here. I have 3 daughters. I have a 20-year-old daughter. I know, I don't look old enough to have a 20-year-old daughter, do I? And I have 2 other little rascals who are 8 and 7. And I love being a mom. I went to school years ago to become a teacher. And so I was a math teacher for 12 years. And then I wanted to take some time off from being every day in the classroom teaching middle school math, which, if you can imagine what middle school math is like, it's like your worst nightmare and your best day ever, all mixed in one. It's like craziness. So after 12 years, I was like, I think I might need to find something else to do. And so I had this opportunity to stay at the same exact middle school and become an instructional coach and help other math teachers get a little bit better at their job. And so I did that part-time, and I was kind of looking for what I was going to do next. And this opportunity fell in my lap. I mostly signed up so that I could get 25% off Shakeology and save on my workouts. And so I signed up at a time that I could not afford to pay for Shakeology. My husband is a restaurateur. He's a chef. He has a Mexican restaurant here in town. It's so delicious and amazing, but it sucks like the life out of us. He works 12 to 15-hour days. He's gone all the time. He's like the most amazing guy in the world. And that's kind of my big why behind why I'm trying to kill it in this business. And so here's my thing about this. You are invited to do this, and it's absolutely what you make of this business. And speaking of just the opportunity part of it, you're joining a team that is amazing. Like, if you're like wondering, how will I do this? I have no idea how this works. We're going to work with you, and we're going to share how we do it. And you're going to get some ideas from this gal and some ideas from this guy, and you're going to make it your own, and you're going to rock your business and do it and be you. And there's not one right way to do it. And this is like such an amazing opportunity. So from our team, which is amazing, I just also want to say that the Beachbody brand, our CEO, all the coaches, our products, like, I 100% feel so confident in standing behind this business, this company, and this opportunity. And so one little thing that I wanted to speak to is that when I first started, so I've been a coach for a little over 2 years. When I first started sharing my own journey on Facebook, and building a like page, it was so nerve-wracking to like put myself out there. It felt like weird to share sides of me that maybe people don't really know about, or I might appear to be too salesy. And I have to say that I am so over that. Like, I am me 100%. I am loud and proud. I'm like old Amy Dell times like 1,000, turning it up on my Facebook. And what I've found is that people appreciate that. They want to know what I'm doing, and they want to know how this might fit into their life. And so as you consider joining this team, and as you consider having this be a business opportunity for you, I want you to think about what that might feel like if you just put yourself out there and people started to wonder, like, what is she doing? Like, could I do that with her too? And that's what'll start happening for you. And maybe you have a full-time job and it's kind of hectic and you're wondering, like, how am I going to put one other thing on my plate? I want you to imagine that that other thing that you're putting on your plate is going to give you like life and energy and a reason to wake up and keep pushing yourself to go further. And that's the way I see it. This is a hard business. I don't think it's for people who are quitters. I don't think it's for people who don't want to put 100% in for themselves. But if you're willing to do that, like, you're in the right place with the right company and you're on the right team. And so I'd love, love, love to have you join us. And if you have any questions, I'm going to come over here and see. Oh, look, I've got a couple questions. And actually, as I read these questions, if anyone on the team wants to jump on, Amanda wants to know, how do we balance it all?
Yeah, so I can jump in and help. Thank you so much, Amy Dell. Oh my gosh, I loved your last statement about, like, how do you fit one more thing on your growing stack of plates, right? Or I'm so bad at analogies or whatever those saying. The worst ever. Ever. Tommy's probably upstairs laughing at me right now. But I love that, because if you switch it around in terms of the work versus the reward, that reward and becomes something you absolutely want to add to your stack, because it's something you're willing to sacrifice time, effort, energy toward, because it's something you want in your life. I loved it. Like, I had goosebumps. So thank you. But yes, to Amanda's question, how do you balance it all? So, Amanda, starting out, it really depends on what your goals and your vision for your business is. And I was going to talk about this a little toward the end, but I'll definitely talk about it now. You balance it by prioritizing your day and determining where you can work the business. So for a lot of us, I know when I was working full time, I had the girls, I was training for my first marathon. To me, I didn't have time. Like, there was like no time. But when I really looked down at it and on paper, I realized that, okay, I can get up an extra half an hour early and get my workout in. That gives me a half an hour in the evening to work my business. So I already have what we call power pocket of time by just shifting my workout earlier in the morning. And that to me was 4:30 a.m. And then I realized, okay, and this might be extreme to some, but like I said, in 14 months, I built the business to a place where I could leave my career and pursue this full time. So I am probably on the extreme end of doing anything and everything possible to invest in my business up front. So waking up at 4:30 was what I had to do. The other thing I did is I had an hour to an hour and a half commute into the city each morning, where I started listening to my personal development. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to suck it up and take our, how do I say this? Culturally diverse metro into our city and stop driving, so that I could actually physically do work, like follow up with people and post things to social media. So I took half of my time of my commute out by taking our metro, which a lot of people probably wouldn't do. But for me, it was a sacrifice I was willing to do so that I could build this business and connect with more people each day. So I did that and got myself an extra 30 minutes in the morning and a 30 minutes in the afternoon to actually physically do work while on the metro in my commute. Then I decided that, you know what, during my lunch breaks or when I would take lunch at my work, I would work my business and eat at the same time. So I went to our local Starbucks, which was on the corner, and worked my business. So right there, I already gave myself 2.5 hours that I believed I never had until I decided this was worth working for and figuring out what I could sacrifice in order to do it. So the luxury of my drive in was severely sacrificed by deciding to take a metro. Getting my time in the morning was sacrificed by doing my workout earlier so that I had time in the evening with my family. And then once they went to bed, whatever I had in the evening from 8 to 11 o'clock, I would work my business. So for me personally, I was able to invest probably 3 to 4 hours a day by adjusting some of my priorities and adjusting what I typically did prior to becoming a coach. And you'll find those opportunities when you discover what it is you need to do to build your business. The other thing is you don't have to do that. If that's something you can't invest right now, you can do what we call a power hour or power pocket, so that when you do have those pockets of time where you can work your business, you are investing that time to do work for your business. So you'll find those opportunities. Some people, it might be Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Monday, whatever days of the week work best for your schedule. It's about creating business hours and boundaries for your schedule each day. And that might vary depending on what it is you do and what you have on your plate each day. But our number one goal is to create a structure around our schedule that accommodates our life, our personal life, our work life, and then our business, so that we can invest time into the business. Because I will tell you, everything that Amy Zell talked about, all of us talked about, wasn't done with 15 minutes a day. I would say bare minimum to really grow and get momentum behind your business is at least an hour a day. So if you can find that, you will be able to start that ball rolling, and you'll find opportunities to connect with other people, to build your business, and to invest in what it is that you're wanting out of this business. So I hope that answered your question. And then if anybody else wants to chime in, you can.
I saw another question from Fleur. How do you build your client base and followers? Is there anyone else that wants to talk about some ways that you're adding to your tribe, and how are you building your client base, your followers?
I guess not. So basically, we haven't really, I don't think anyone's really said this yet, but this business is so not about selling. And that's the thing, is you don't have to like sell. What you need to do is share. And if you're sharing yourself and your journey every day, you're going to have people watching you, and you're going to have people wanting to join you. And as far as building your client base and followers, it's just really by being consistent and adding new people to your network. And there's many different ways that you can do that. You can add people to your network by adding new friends to your Facebook. And that's something that a lot of us have had to get over, a fear. I'm pretty sure every one of us here have thought, I can't add people I don't know, or people that I don't know well. Like my Facebook, I've always only added people that I really know. Well, I can tell you, before I started coaching, I went through my Facebook and I deleted everybody that I didn't know. I'm like, who is this? Why do I have them on my Facebook? I deleted a ton of people. And then when I started this business, I was like, now I want to build my network, and I want to, connect with friends of friends and those people. So, you can add friends, you can join in different Facebook groups, and, build connections with people through things you're interested in. We met through the IVF board, right? So it's all about just building connections and relationships with people, adding people to your network, and being consistent, because people are going to watch you and they're going to want to join you when you're sharing your journey and what you're doing rather than selling. It's not about, hey, buy this. Hey, I want to sell you this. You're building relationships with people, and people are watching what you're doing, and they're going to want to naturally join you. So there's different ways that you can add people to your network. And, you know, we can talk about that more later too, if you, you know, for anybody that is going to jump in and coach.
And can I add on, I saw that Gianna had posted, she said, I'm that person who never buys anything from people who sell things, and I've always been judgmental of people who do. Has anyone been this way? If so, how did Beachbody change your perspective? And so to that, I know there have been, I mean, MLM marketing, first of all, I think it's the smartest business opportunity to get into. Like, you have a chance in a very short amount of time compared to, like, if I were to stick with teaching as my career, I could put in 30 years and end up making not very much more than when I started. Or I can invest 5 years in an MLM company and end up with like a retirement savings. And it's all in what you make at it, but the potential is there. And of course, it's what you put into it. But when it comes, so just as a business model, like, I used to cringe when I heard about MLMs or people trying to sell. And for me personally now, I feel like if you are not happy in your job, or you're a stay-at-home mom and wondering what you're going to do, or you would like to create a different life with freedom, like, this is actually the perfect business model to get into. So I stand behind the business model itself. And then when you're asking, like, how did you get beyond feeling judgmental and how did Beachbody change my perspective? I would say go all in with one of our workouts and drink Shakeology every day, and see the results that you personally get when you use our products faithfully, and see what transformation you get and how you feel. And then when you do that, at the beginning of your coaching career, when you do that a little bit at a time, you're going to feel like you want to share, like, person to person, friend to friend, family members. You're going to want to say, this is freaking awesome. I feel amazing. And you're going to want to invite people to join this. And so for me, you get more comfortable as you're moving beyond your friend circle. And when you truly believe in the products that you're sharing about, it doesn't feel schmarmy. Like, when I'm adding people to my friend group, when I'm meeting people and saying, hey, have you ever considered doing this? I personally view it as a gift. When I'm inviting you to join this coaching opportunity, this is a gift to you. Like, if you decide to say yes to this, like, this is an opportunity and a gift. So I don't feel bad about inviting somebody to join my challenge group and change their life. It's freaking amazing. Why wouldn't you say yes? So as soon as you get past that feeling of, like, that icky feeling of selling, and instead think about, like, oh, wow, I am so grateful that I had this opportunity. I'm so grateful that I'm drinking Shakeology every day and moving my body and feeling good. You're going to feel pretty good about inviting other people to it as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Amy Dell said. And the other fact is, like, Gianna, I was actually that, I still find myself being that person every once in a while when I see, just because of the connections I've made in the business over the last 4 years being in network marketing, I see a lot of network marketers, and I tend sometimes to be like, ugh, are they just trying to sell me on something? Or are they, like, legit passionate about their product? And I will tell you, the way my perspective has changed is, I have been that person, but I also have a lot of respect for that other marketer, whether it's makeup or hair or cleaners or whatever else is out there. When I see them just as passionately sharing what it is that they're doing, I get it now because of what Amy Dell said. Like, I love our products. I will never not drink Shakeology. I can guarantee you. And I could go on stories that I have about it. I'll save that for later. But because I've become so invested and passionate about our products, and I've seen how they've changed my life and absolutely changed my health over the last 4 years, it is not something I sell. It is something I share with other people who are willing to listen. And the people who follow me know me for who I am and why I'm so passionate about it. So a part of that process is going through the actual falling in love with our products because you realize how wonderful they are. Selling them becomes second nature because all you're doing is sharing that passion with other people. It's not about pushing a product on someone. It's about saying, hey, look, this stuff's legit because this is what it's done for me, or this is what it's done for our community of coaches, or this is what it's done for somebody who's similar who has a similar situation that you're in. And that becomes a lot easier. So I know for me personally, my perspective has changed greatly because of that. So hopefully you'll feel the same way as you work through the programs and as you also drink Shakeology or do or utilize our products. Okay, so let's keep pressing forward. We have 3 more coaches to share with tonight. The next one we have is one of another comfort zone crusher, Lindsay, who's out in San Diego. So who actually just moved out there. Super jealous of all her beautiful pictures of that amazing city. But I'll let her talk to that. Lindsay, I will toss it over to you.
All right, can everybody hear me? We're good? Okay. So yeah, definitely crushing a comfort zone because I'm like super nervous right now. But okay, so my name is Lindsay. I am 28, and like Leslie said, I just moved here to San Diego about 3 months ago, and I actually came from Maryland, which is where I was born and raised. So I am married. I've been married for almost 3 years. No kids, but we do have our furry children. So I've got my cat here, and we also have a Doberman. So what got me started on my health and fitness journey? I actually had a history of an eating disorder, and it was something that I dealt with for a couple of years in my early 20s. But thankfully, I was able to get out of that, and I ended up finding a passion in running. So I had been running for a few years. I had done a few half marathons, done a few marathons, and I decided that I was going to try an ultra. So during that time that I was training for that ultra marathon, I was running all the time, putting in like 40, 50-mile weeks. And it came to a point where I was just getting injured all the time. And I was definitely falling out of love with running. It just became so exhausting. And it was just something that, I just wasn't having fun with anymore. So throughout that whole process, I was actually in a Facebook group, which is where I had met my upline coach, Leslie. So she was running the same race as I was. And so we're both first times to this. And, as like I said, I was dealing with injuries, but I had heard from her. She was a Beachbody coach. And so I had been watching her on Facebook, and I was also seeing ads for this thing called Beachbody On Demand, and that you could try it for 30 days. So as soon as the ultra marathon was done, I decided that I really needed to take some time out from running and that I needed to cross train. So that's when I got involved with Beachbody On Demand. Swore I would only try it for the 30 days and then cancel it and go right back to my running. But I ended up falling in love with P90X3. And so seeing as though I had previously had a passion in health and fitness, I had even become certified to do personal training. I unfortunately didn't have a job in it. So that's when I pursued Leslie, and I'm just like, you know what, you're going to have to tell me more about this whole coaching thing because I'm really interested. So she actually invited me to a similar kind of setup here where I got on Facebook. I went on an event and found out about the whole coaching experience because, going to that call was really nice too, because I was one of those people that heard about the whole like MLM things or a scheme, the whole pyramid thing. You do not want to get involved. But I was so curious about it. And like I said, I was so passionate about health and fitness. And I knew that there was so much more that I needed to learn about it. So I talked it over with my husband and just decided to do it. And I swear it was one of the best decisions that I had ever made because I've learned so much about myself as a person. When I came into this, I thought I I thought I knew so much about health and fitness. And I thought, oh, I'm a marathon runner. I'm in great shape. But when I started doing P90X3, I will tell you, I was not in anywhere good enough shape to master that. So, over the past year, I've developed myself physically. I've really dialed back from running, but I still do it. But doing this, I found my passion in weightlifting, and my confidence has gone from 0 to 1,000. That's something that was such a blessing. I just, I don't mean to get all like choked up or anything, but like it was one of those things that I never felt like that in my entire life. I never felt so good about myself. And I know that like Beachbody is also about helping other people. But in the end, I feel that the person that I've helped most of all was myself. And that was my favorite part about becoming a coach.
Oh, I love Lindsay. I love you and your story and how we met, which brings me to a question that Stephanie answered a bit ago. I'm sorry for not knowing who posted the original question, but Lindsay is a perfect example of this. I actually, like she said, we were on the same page because we were running the same race. And I tell you, the day I realized I was going to reach out to her, she posted a picture of herself and earn a freckle for every mile. Was that your shirt? She was wearing the shirt and it said earn a freckle or something. Like her whole theme is freckled fitness, freckle. I don't know. You can correct me. I'm so bad. But she had this really cute shirt and it was such an opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. If I see you, I will definitely stop and say hi. But I friended her from that. And that's how it started. And that's how you make connections. You just connect with people that you relate to and that you like just kind of naturally gravitate to, or that you realize you have a connection. And I knew this girl is running 50 miles. She obviously has a connection because I'm running the same 50 miles she is, and we're going to die together or we're going to celebrate together. And following that, I saw her posting. It's funny because she says she saw me posting, but I was watching her just as much as she was watching me because I wanted to build a relationship with her and understand if this was something that she would want to do too. And she happened to one day post that she was going to try out this P90X. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You're going to try out P90X. I did that 2.5 years ago. Let me chat with you real quick. And that's how you build connections. It's not that I go, oh, let me go hunt down all these people, friend requests, and then just start inviting them to things. It's that you actually attract the people that you want into your tribe. You connect with them, you build relationships with them, you get to know them, you love on them. And then it naturally is, hey, you should do this because I love it just as much as I know you're going to love it too. So that's sort of how that evolves and how it becomes a lot less selling and just a lot more people relationship type building business. So thank you so much, Lindsay, for sharing that. All right, Rachel, we're going to hand it over to you now.
Hi, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, good. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but originally I'm from Philadelphia. So I've lived in Lancaster, PA, the home of Amish and buggies and lots of farms for about 8 years now. And I am married, and I have 2 boys who are 5 and 3. So I have struggled with weight all my life. I was extremely heavy all through elementary school, middle school, high school, even in my college years. And there was a point right after I had my first son about 5 years ago that I just hit my breaking point. I had just had him and I was so unhealthy and so overweight that I had complications with my pregnancy, and I just had kind of had enough. And my husband, bless his heart, was trying to help me and get me out of this hole and bought me Turbo Fire. And I was immediately in love and started the program and became a huge follower of Chalene. And I had actually seen all her Shakeology ads or advertisements and news at the end of Turbo Fire, but never really tried it. And then I got word that PiYo was coming out. And so I decided to go all in. I started joining some of Leslie's support groups and just fell in love, and my life became transformed. I started losing weight, and I really just started being able to work on myself and really figure out why I was so unhappy, and just start having success in a whole bunch of areas. I actually have only been coaching for 3 months now. I was a discount coach for about 2 years, and February, I think it was, decided that's it. I'm going all in, and I'm going to do this coaching thing, and I want to pay it forward because Leslie helped me so much, and other people in the challenge groups helped me so much overcome some of my struggles that I wanted to really pay it forward. So my biggest initial reservation about becoming a coach was definitely getting out of my comfort zone and not letting myself self-sabotage or let myself hold me back, because I definitely will get inside my head and it's all in my mindset on what I can do or can't do. But definitely one of my biggest things that I've discovered now since becoming a coach is how many friends and how much support I have. I've made fantastic friendship with Allison, who is on here tonight. We talk pretty much every day, if not close to every other day. And I kind of feel like something's missing when we don't get to talk. But she's there to support me, keep me going. We run challenge groups together. So this journey is definitely not something that you do on your own. There's a whole group of people who are willing to jump in. I know both Allison and I have jumped on in our group post and said, help, we desperately need help at this moment. And there's a list of people who jump right on and help us out. So I think there was a question earlier in our group post about how do you push yourself out of your comfort zone, and this probably should be my poster of because this is my biggest weakness and my biggest struggle is just getting out of my comfort zone and getting out of my head. And I think sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We decide that we're going to fail or not be able to do something before we try it. And I think Leslie told me in one of the early trainings or one of our messages back and forth to each other that I just had to go all in and try it. And I did in February. I just decided to go all in. If Leslie said, we're going to make this many posts tonight, I made a point to get on there and do the posts that the group or the challenge or Leslie had posted, and it worked. And I posted it and I moved on. I didn't think about it. I didn't come back. And I just started really seeing success with that. So I think my biggest advice for someone to get out of your comfort zone is, yes, there are probably going to be people that don't connect with you or don't need what you're saying, but there's going to be someone who desperately needs to hear what you're posting or sharing your story, or it maybe is waiting for you to talk about Shakeology, and they're the ones that you need to connect with. So I try and remember that in my head when I go to post, and that really seems to help me move on forward out of my weakness or my worries about this isn't my comfort zone. So.
Thank you, Rachel. And that's really good, valid points too, especially around just pushing out of your comfort zone and realizing that we're not trying to be everyone's cup of tea, right? We know we can't be. And that's kind of why we decided to do this in this format tonight, to really give you guys a sense of the various personalities that are represented in the coaching community. And this is just a small segment. This happens to be a segment that's very united because we're all on the same team and we tend to attract those same personalities. But if you're someone sitting there right now saying, I can't relate to them because, and I know this is a valid reason because I've seen it before, because I'm still in my journey, or I'm still overweight, or I still haven't reached my goal, or I don't look like them, or I don't speak like them, or I can't do what they're doing. I'm telling you right now, if this is something you want to do and pursue, you have an opportunity to reach people that you do relate to and that are in the same capacity or mindset that you are in. It's not being this cookie cutter coach and you're only that way and you can only be successful if you are that way. If you take a look at the broader spectrum of coaches within this community, and our team is a small team comparative to the entire community of coaches, which is 300,000 plus, you are going to see such diversity in that pool of people, and the successful people that are in there or pursuing their dreams are doing it with tons of heart and tons of hustle. And it's not because they're a particular type or person. It's because they've learned to find their voice. They've learned how to share their story authentically and beautifully, whoever they may be. And they've been able to attract other people like them into their community, into their hearts, and to help them in their journey. So I want you to rest assured knowing that you don't have to be this ideal person in your head, because I know a lot. I mean, one of the number one objectives that most of us get is, well, I need to go through my journey more. I'm not fit enough, or I'm not thin enough, or I'm not at my goal weight. Nobody would want to follow me because I'm overweight still, or I'm this, or I'm that. That is not true. I guarantee you we could find someone who is just as successful with that same type of profile, who is doing it and killing it because they find that fire and that passion in their heart to serve others and do it authentically and true to them. So I just wanted to share that because I'm playing off of what Rachel said. Okay, so we have one last coach. Before we wrap it up tonight, I'm going to hand that over to Miss Stephanie.
All right, I will try not to talk too long. Just to what Leslie said, like, this journey is not just about weight loss. So Beachbody is so much more than just losing weight. I didn't start Beachbody because I had tons and tons of weight to lose, but I could still be just as successful as someone who lost 100 pounds. So just to kind of add to that, like, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. This is like about mindset. Mindset is probably one of the biggest transformations I see in coaches, my coaches, the coaches on our team, and my challengers. Before they even start seeing physical results, their mindset changes like crazy. And that's the amazing thing with Beachbody, as it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, there's always people to connect to. So first off, my name is Stephanie Vadamanuk. In case you've been trying to say my last name, I'll say it one more time, Vadamanuk. I'm from Estevan, Saskatchewan, Canada. So most of my coaches are in Canada, but I do have some customers in the US as well. And I'm 33, I'm married. I have a nine-year-old teacup Maltipoo who is basically like my baby, and I have 4 angel babies. So I won't get too much into my story, but the reason I started coaching was after I lost my 3rd child, my son Nate, and delivered him at 22 weeks. And so my body wasn't the way it was before. My obviously mind was not in a good place, and I needed something to focus on. So I came across the 21-day fix, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do that. I need something in my life to be good. And so my husband and I ordered the 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme. And before we even started it, I came across one of Leslie's videos on YouTube, which is where I found her. And I watched about the coaching opportunity, and seeing her passion and seeing everything she talked about around coaching made me want to do it. I'd never done a program. I'd only tried Shakeology a couple times. I didn't know really anything about the business. So I'm a little opposite. Lots of people, start with the product, start as discount coaches, and then kind of get into the business later on. But if you're sitting here thinking, I haven't even tried a program or a product before, that's okay. You can still be passionate about the business, because I did. I jumped into the business at the exact same time. I jumped into doing the 21 Day Fix for the first time. And, you know, I am still building my business while doing that. So basically I became a coach because I needed something positive in my life. And I can tell you that this opportunity has really done that for me. I'm still on my journey to become a mom. We're going through IVF now, and you know, we're going on 4 years of loss now. And through those 4 years, 2 of them I have been a coach. And so for the last 2 years, I have been coaching, and I am actually an elementary school teacher, but I'm on a leave right now. I have been for 3 years, about 2.5 years, just while going through everything. I've decided to step back from teaching until things kind of get better. And that's why I really wanted to get into coaching. Another good thing about coaching that I don't know if anyone really talked about was how accountable it keeps you. And I just wanted to mention that because there's days when I get up and I'm having a shitty day. I'm feeling sorry for myself, or I'm upset, or I'm feeling like crap because of the meds I'm on. And if I wasn't a coach, I probably just wouldn't work out that day. But I'm like, you know what? I'm a coach. I have this challenge group. I have these 40 people in my challenge group. They're working out today. They are probably having bad days. And so I do it anyways. And so it's so good for your own accountability as well. Even if you're just starting as a hobby coach that wants to help family and friends, it helps you stay accountable because people are watching you. When people are watching you, it's a lot harder to just say, oh, I just don't feel like doing it today. Because there's lots of days I don't feel like working out. And it would be easier for me not to. And I make excuses in my head. Well, you know, I'm on this estrogen and it's making me tired. I can't do anything and I feel like crap. And I'm like, just do it. You have to do it. Everyone else is doing it and they're looking up to you. So it helps with accountability. Really, really, like it does. Basically, when I started coaching, I probably didn't have as many reservations as a lot of other people do, just because I guess because I was really looking for that positive in my life. However, I will tell you, when I ordered my 21 Day Fix Challenge Pack, I canceled my Shakeology immediately because that was a few weeks before I decided to coach. And I was like, there is no way I'm paying that much for Shakeology for me and Dave. Like, canceled them both. Started the 21 Day Fix, decided to coach, and within a week, I was like, getting back on that, and we haven't missed a day since we started. So, you know, we have those reservations of, is it worth it to spend that much on Shakeology? And, you know, it is. We promise you it is. When you get into it, when you start feeling the differences and all of that, you know, being proof of our products, doing our workouts and drinking Shakeology is a huge part of the business, and sharing that journey. That's what it's all about, really. And, you know, there's so many different ways to do it. We have tons of training on the team, so you're not going to be alone. I think you've probably got that message throughout this, you know, this whole call tonight, is you're never going to be alone. We're always here. We have great training for you to go through and to help you and work with you one-on-one. So you're not just going to be thrown into it and expected to know everything. And I know Leslie mentioned at the beginning, you don't have to know everything or anything to start sharing your journey and to start helping people. So I'm just going to skip to something else that people didn't talk about. I know Amy Dell mentioned that this business isn't easy. So if you're looking for an easy get rich quick business, this is not it. It's not always easy, but it's very rewarding. And you have to have a strong why and a strong vision as to why you want to do this. What do you want out of this business? And it doesn't have to be the same thing I want or the same thing Leslie wants or anybody else. It's your vision and your why. Maybe you don't want to be a full-time coach, but you want a part-time income. Maybe that's what you want, and that's your why. That's okay. It's your business. No one else sets your goals and your why. So you have to have a strong vision and always revisit that, so that when it does get tough, or when you get those no's, or you get that one family member that says some snarky remark to you about, you know, the business that you're in, and you can look past that and realize that, you know what, I know why I'm doing this, and my vision and my why is stronger than, you know, the tough times. So I just want to answer one question that was asked in the group earlier, and that was from Becky. I worry about my back and being able to work out regularly and help inspire others, or how can I help inspire others? So there's a lot of coaches who have health problems who can't like just go and do insanity. So it's okay to be on your own journey and share your journey. Like, I'm going to be having an IVF transfer next week. I can't work out for 2 weeks. That's not going to change my business. I'm still sharing my nutrition, my Shakeology. I'm sharing why I can't work out and what, and I'm involving people in my story as to why, and I strongly want to just get that across, is you don't have to be perfect. You don't, if you have a health condition, I know Terry Lynn's on this call, she has fibromyalgia, and she struggles some days to work out, but that's not going to stop her from sharing that. And she can turn that into a post and say why that day, what health condition she has, or, what she's doing to overcome that. And that's just part of your story, part of what you share. So don't let that hold you back. And there's always different programs that you can do that all have modifiers. So, it's totally fine to modify a program. You could modify an entire program and modify the moves that you can't do because of your back, and post about that. Like, hey, I did this workout, but I could only do half of it because of my back. So I modified here, or I skipped this move and I did this instead because this is something I could do. So that's it. I don't want to keep anyone too much longer. And I'll turn it back to Leslie to talk a little bit about the wrap it up.
Well, I think you did an amazing job wrapping it up, because you touched on like the first 4 bullet points of my wrap up, which I'll quickly go over what Stephanie just said. Just to recap really quick, I just first want to thank all the coaches who shared their stories tonight. As you can tell, there's some coaches in here that are still very timid to share publicly and to get out of their comfort zones, but they do it anyway for the purpose of helping others. And at the end of the day, that is what we do. We believe, right, that great things outside of our comfort zones. And all of us had fears and reservations and hesitations when we first joined or before we joined, and have had an incredible opportunity to grow ourselves through this process. So one of the most beautiful things about being a coach is the gift you give yourself. Yes, this is very much a serving community, a community of helpers. Naturally, we want to help other people, but little do we ever sit back and say and realize the impact it's had on us personally, the growth we go through personally as we coach, whether we're coaching for our own personal reasons, or whether we're doing it to help a few people, or we're doing it to build an empire business. Going through that process is a journey for your own growth and your own in your own business. And it's a beautiful thing. And to see the transformations that I've personally been able to see over the last 4 years and continue to see as a coach is probably one, if not the most rewarding aspect of this business, is to see it not only within yourself, but to see it in others. So I just wanted to thank the coaches here that shared their hearts tonight. I want to thank all of you guys who joined us tonight, who spent the last hour and 10 minutes, and give me 5 more minutes and I'll wrap it up. We really appreciate the time you spent. We hope we've answered all your questions. If we haven't, or if we've left something on the table unanswered, please just post it below. If you could post in a new post, that would be great, just because there are a lot of comments in this actual video. But we will certainly tag us. We'll certainly answer any questions you have. Just a few of the business type things that we didn't cover, because we feel a lot of this business is around more of our story and more of who we are and what we do versus the nitty gritty details of the business that you'll learn when you sign up. We save this till the end. But like Stephanie, and you've heard tonight, some of those benefits that you have being a coach is, one, you're serving a community of people that really, truly need help. And that's incredibly fulfilling when you can turn around and see someone change their life completely because you decided to be brave enough and ask them to be in your group, or to do a workout, or to follow up with them when you saw that they were struggling. I posted a quick little example of Lindsay, because my heart truly swells huge when she shares her story. And every time she shares her transformation, I reshare it all the time. Because oh man, I don't want to, I'm going to get emotional because I am pregnant and I'm like an emotional mess, but her story is so beautiful. What she's gone through over the last 2 years is just so amazing. And when you sit back and you realize all because you were brave enough to say, hey, what are you doing? Like, I see you're talking about a workout that I'm used to. You just realize the impact you truly have on someone's life. And that's incredibly rewarding. The community that you're going to be part of. I mean, this is what you get when you come to our team. You get these people who lift each other up, who help each other, who when they get uncomfortable, like Allison did, will jump in and hold you up and lift you up and share. And nothing to be embarrassed about, Allison. You know, we're here to help you. I mean, it happens. Shoot, it happens to me all the time. I could talk an hour if someone doesn't cut me off. Someone needs to cut me off. The support you have, your own accountability, like Stephanie said, the freedom and potential this business truly has to change your life. Guys, I worked in corporate America 50, 60 hours a week. And this is what I do every day. I have the freedom of time. I have the freedom to go to and volunteer once a week at my daughter's school. I have the freedom to tell people no and to tell them yes. I can get up and go to lunch with my husband. I can get up and go to lunch with a girlfriend next door. I can go running during my days. That is something I always wanted, which goes back to Amy Dell's statement about, will you make the time for the reward? Not necessarily the work, but the reward that work will give you when you invest that time. I would not change a single thing in my life or the decision of becoming a coach because of the rewards that I've gotten and the potential this business continues to give myself, my family, and those that you see tonight on this broadcast. Okay, so just to wrap it up, if you're sitting there saying, you know what, sign me up, like I mean, at bare minimum, I'm going to be part of this amazing team, this amazing community of women, of people. We do have some men, especially my husband, who supports almost all of our coaches. But we are primarily a woman-based community. But if you're sitting there thinking, you know what, I have nothing to lose, which all of you hopefully are saying that, we hope you sign up with us. Reach out to the coach that invited you. We will help you in that process. We know the best way to get you signed up. The sign-up fee to be a coach is $15.95 a month. So that's US. If you're in Canada, $17.95, right, Steph? Right. So $17.95 Canadian and $15.95 US a month to be a coach, and that's it. So and that, honestly, we didn't talk about this, but all of the technology, all of the customer service, all of the shipping, the fulfillment, the inventory, you do not do any of that. All of that is done by Beachbody. You're merely a conduit to finding people and helping them find a solution to their needs. So at the end of the day, you don't have like stockpiles of Shakeology and fitness stuff in your house. That all is handled by Beachbody. So that fee each month is to let them deal with that headache, and we don't have to deal with that. Same with customer service. If something happens, if they lose something or they didn't get something in their shipment, that all goes through Beachbody directly. So that small fee covers all of that, which at the end of the day is nothing in the grand scheme of things, especially when building a business. But you also, with that, when you have the coach membership, you also get 25% off of all of your purchases going forward. So your Shakeology that you're getting, you get at 25% discount. If you decide you want to do the 3-day refresh or the ultimate reset or buy a different program or add more nutritionals to your supplement line, everything you purchase is 25% off as a coach with the coach membership. So even if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know if I want to do the whole business thing, but I know I want to be part of this community and I want to stay accountable to my own goals, you can sign up and at least get the benefit of our discount and the benefit of our community, because you will be added to our team page. You will have the opportunity to be part of our trainings, to be part of the events that we go on or do as a team. Just like Rachel said, she did that for herself for the first 2 years. For the first 2 years, she was just a discount, not just, she was a discount coach because she wanted to stay accountable. She loved our products. And then just this year, and has been killing it, let me just say, decided, you know what, I want to go in on this business. And that might be you too. You might be like, okay, I want to do this. And then maybe in 6 months or a year from now, maybe it's something I would want to do down the road. You totally have that opportunity. The coach membership at the end of the day is just a membership. It's like a gym membership, and you get to do whatever you want to do. So there's no quotas to meet. You don't have to sell a certain amount of stuff. You don't have to do a certain amount. You don't have to produce a certain amount. It's just, you have a membership. That membership offers you the opportunity to be part of a kick-ass community and to have a wonderful discount on our products. And then if you wanted to, it gives you the opportunity to help other people and connect with them, sell them products that will help them in their journey, and then you be rewarded with commission, which at the end of the day, if you are building a business, money does matter. And I don't want to leave you guys without saying, you know what, you can build a hugely profitable business with becoming a coach and building a business. And you have various levels of income. You generate income by obviously selling products and building a team that is also successful. So you do generate income that way, and you earn 25% off anything, or 25% on anything you sell. You earn in commission, and then on certain products or certain bundles of products, you even earn more than that, up to like about 35%. So there is a real opportunity to make a very profitable business of this as well, if that's something you want to pursue. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, please post them. If you are ready to sign up on our team, which we really hope you are, reach out to the coach that invited you tonight. We will certainly follow up with you too, to make sure you don't have any questions offline that you want to discuss with us, and to also see what you thought about tonight's event. If this was helpful, please let us know. If there's something else that we can do for you, please let us know. We are very grateful for you taking the time out of your evening and spending it with us tonight. We hope we've answered all your questions, and we hope you guys have an amazing night and an equally amazing weekend coming up. Take care, guys. Bye.